again, and welcome to the, get this on, the Penn State College of Engineering Accepted Student Program. My name is Matt Barone, and I am the Director for Undergraduate Student Engagement here in the College of Engineering, and I'm excited to welcome you to our session. Give me a minute as I set up our slides here so that we can begin. I am joined today by one of my colleagues and then three outstanding students who are going to talk to you a little bit about the student experience, the academic experience, and try to answer as many of your questions as we go to help you make an informed decision if Penn State College of Engineering is the right fit for you. And so we will be together for the next 45 minutes or so, sharing some of that content specific to the College of Engineering. As we go, know that we are recording the session and we will be sharing this link with you afterwards. You'll get it early next week as a follow-up to the session. So if you miss anything or if you need to take a quick break and step away, know that you'll be able to catch back up on whatever was missed via the recording. We will be using the question and answer button as a way to interact today. So at the bottom of your Zoom window, feel free to open up that question and answer tab and submit any questions now that you have or that come up as you hear us talk about the different things that we have to share with you. And we can interact throughout the session that way. If we have time at the end, we'll all turn our cameras back on and answer questions live, time allowing. So with that, I would like to start and share that we are grateful to interact and to engage with you virtually, though we know you would love to see campus as much as possible. And so recently, some of our students in our College of Communications, our College of Engineering Communications team, put together some Zoom videos, and we wanted to show you kind of where they are and then show you the videos. So if you've been on campus recently, you've seen some construction on the west side of campus, which is two brand new engineering facilities. This building here at the top is connected to a brand new parking deck, and it's called the Engineering Design and Innovation Building. And it has over 8,000 square feet of makerspace, classrooms and offices as well, and is really dedicated to all of the different ways in which students can get hands-on experience in the classroom with projects or with personal interests and passions that they might have using any one of the different various makerspaces there. And then this building here is under construction still. It will open this summer and is called ECORE, the Engineering Collaborative Research Education Building, and will house three of our departments are moving into this area: architectural engineering, civil engineering, and the slideshow is not, sorry, I didn't get it shared correctly. Sorry, I think now you can see my screen. So now you can see what I was talking about a minute ago. This building up on top is the Engineering Design and Innovation Building. This building over here is ECORE. And so let me show you a little bit about those two buildings here in just one second as I figure out my Zoom correctly. Okay, I think you should see that now, and you should be able to hear this video of the Engineering Design and Innovation Building. Take a look. So that building was just finished this summer, and very exciting for us to be in there. And you could see at the end of that drone video the construction of our other building, the engineering collaborative and research education building. One other quick video that I want to show, just because we're excited as well about some renovations that happened in our mechanical engineering building, in the Reber building, home for mechanical engineering. They have recently renovated the basement, the entire basement of that building, as a really cool state-of-the-art makerspace as well. And so you'll see a little bit about this new renovation here in this next one video. So as you can see, the College of Engineering is really dedicated to these recent renovations and buildings and expanding our footprint, but also giving our students an opportunity to get their hands dirty with some of the experiences and opportunities to build and tinker and toy with what they're learning about in class. And so we hope that even though you're not able to visit us today on campus, that gives you a little bit of a sense of some of our facilities and the way in which we are leveraging opportunities for students to engage with what they're learning about. And so, like I said before, we'll start our session now with our four presenters. First up is Maria. She is one of our advisors from the Engineering Advising Center. And Maria is going to do a little show and tell and show you some of the different ways that you can learn more about the opportunities and programs and majors here at the College of Engineering, and how our team is going to support you along the way. Maria, thanks so much for being here today.
Yeah, super happy to be here. Thanks, Matt. So hi, everybody. Welcome. Really excited to be here. Congratulations, on this up and coming potential opportunity for you. Matt, could you please just advance the screen one slide? Awesome. Thank you so much. So again, my name is Maria Mosley, and I am one of the advisors in the Engineering Advising Center at Penn State. And so just a very little bit about me. I am in my 5th year in the advising center, but I have worked at Penn State. This is my 16th year. And so I've had lots of roles working directly with students throughout my time at the university. And so this screen that you see in front of you, or this page that you see, are the folks that make up the Engineering Advising Center at the university. And so it is our role to assist students who are in the first 2 years of their degree program within the College of Engineering. So you can see we have a director and an assistant director. We have 2 administrative support staff members, and then we have 7 full-time academic advisors whose role it is specifically to assist students in those first 2 years. So what are some reasons that a student might come and see an advisor? Well, if they're struggling in a class, right, they can come and see us and we can get them connected with resources to assist if students have questions about entrance to major. So all students are accepted into the College of Engineering as pre-major engineering students. And then there are some things they have to do in order to declare a major in the college. And I'll talk about what that looks like here in a little while. But if you have questions about entrance to major, we're a great resource for that. When you're planning a schedule for a future semester, you want to come and see us so we can help you with that. If students are looking to learn more about majors and minors and how they go together and how they pair together and how degree plans work, we're the folks to come and see. We can assist with that as well. And then the reality is that any question a student has, I tell my advisees all the time, if you have a question and you don't know the answer, come and see us, right? It is our role to assist you or to get you connected with the appropriate resources to help. Now, one thing that I like to talk about with the folks on this screen, none of us have a background as engineers. So we all have various backgrounds. Some of us have worked as school guidance counselors in middle schools, in residence life. That's a lot of my background and some of my peers. Many of us have experience working with students, but none of us are engineers. So you might say to me, well, Maria, if you're not a biomedical engineer, how can you answer my questions about biomedical engineering? Well, what I'll tell you is that I can answer quite a few questions, right? I've been around long enough and I have enough knowledge that I can answer many questions. But we have other folks who can also assist when you have questions that go beyond our level of knowledge. So the first folks, or the first tenets of that we like to talk about are our faculty advisors. So within each of the departments within the College of Engineering, a faculty advisor spends time each semester answering questions about maybe things like graduate school, careers, classes in the 3rd and 4th year that go well beyond my level of knowledge. And so students can set up appointments to talk with faculty advisors. So that's one resource. Another resource that is near and dear to my heart because I supervise these folks are called Engineering Peer Advising Leaders. Engineering Peer Advising Leaders are students in the 3rd and 4th year of their degree plan. And it is their role to serve as peer advisors to students in the 1st and 2nd year of their degree plan. They can answer questions like, I'm not sure about this class. Can you tell me about this class? Again, I might not know about Electrical Engineering 210, EE 210. It's a circuits and hardwares class. That's my knowledge of that course. But an electrical engineering student who has taken that course can answer that question and talk with a 1st or 2nd year student about their experiences in that class. They can give advice, they can give guidance, they can give assistance. Really cool fun fact, Alexis, who's going to talk with you a little bit later today, is also an EPAL in our office. And so I'm excited that she's here and part of this, but she's not going to talk today as an EPAL. She's going to talk in a different role that she's serving. So the EPALs are a great resource and one that are available to students during the regular semester or the regular academic year, Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4 o'clock every day. So those are kind of the resources in our office and the pieces that we like to talk about. And so now I am going to do a screen share for all of you. And once I share my screen here, I am going to navigate out to a bunch of different websites. And so important for you to know that Matt will be sending, or someone will be sending these links in the chat. And so you'll be able to have these links. So you don't have to worry about trying to navigate out to them as I'm talking. Just feel free to stick with me as I walk you through these resources. So the first resource that I'm showing you, or the first page that I'm showing you, is a page with a welcome from our now provost of the college. And then underneath it are the 14 degree programs that live in the College of Engineering at Penn State. And so a few that I like to point out that, that again, folks tend to know a lot about, right? Aerospace engineering, computer science, mechanical engineering, those are the ones that the most students are kind of seeking after. And again, this website great videos. So intro videos, 5 to 10 minutes that you can watch about each one of these degree programs to get more information. So a few that maybe are a little bit less well known that I like to point out. Biological engineering is one of those. Nuclear engineering, something that's really neat about our campus is that we actually have an active live nuclear reactor on our campus that our Nuki students utilize as part of their research and their classroom learning. We're one of only a few colleges in the country that have an active nuclear reactor on our campus. And then another one that I like to point out is engineering science. So engineering science is a degree program in the College of Engineering that is a multidisciplinary degree program. And so it allows students who maybe have multiple interests within the College of Engineering to really tailor a degree that works for them, that kind of meets all of their areas of passion. I like to call it a map your own degree or create your own adventure degree plan. Engineering science students work in lots of different industries, right? And it is a degree program that's pretty well known within industry. It is also the only honors program that lives outside of Schreyer Honors College. So students who do an ESci or an engineering science degree, they do research and they write a thesis, and that is part of their experience as an engineering science student. About 50% of students who pursue an engineering science degree go directly into industry, and the other 50% move on to pursue some type of graduate opportunity. So that's ESI. So I would encourage you to take a look at those videos, do some exploration to learn about the 14 degree programs that are offered in the College of Engineering. And so I'm going to move right along to our next screen. And this screen shows you that there are many different campuses within Penn State, right? So there's University Park, and then there are campuses that are all over the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I show you this screen because it's important to point out that students can start their degree at any one of these campuses and do a 2+2. So a student could start at our Barron's campus and finish at University Park. They could start at our Du Bois campus and do 2 years there and start at and complete it at University Park. Benefits to this, right? Pros to this are that smaller class sizes often at our campuses, more one-on-one interaction with faculty, more opportunity to get involved in leadership positions and in clubs and organizations much sooner in a much higher capacity because our campuses are a bit smaller. And ultimately, our campuses cost a little bit less than University Park. And so we like to make sure that we point out that there are other campuses where students can start. And for some students, that is the right decision for them and works for them. Okay, I'm gonna move right along here to the next screen. And so this screen now shows you, right, on the map, all of our campuses and where they are located. And so when I say that we have campuses all over the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, we really do. And so the reason I'm showing you this screen is because we think it's really important to point out that some of our degree plans are offered at our other campuses. So a couple that I like to talk about are these technology degree programs at some of our campuses. These are programs, our engineering technology degree programs are very hands-on. There's a lot of hands-on learning in the classroom. And for some students, this is ideal, that very, very hands-on learning. Another one that I like to point out is at our Altoona campus, there is a rail transportation engineering program. So many folks don't realize that Altoona, Pennsylvania, which is about 45 minutes down the road from University Park, is a hub for Norfolk Southern Railroad. And so what's really great about that is that the campus has paired up with the local community to offer this rail transportation engineering program that is specifically for students who have an interest in that industry. And it really prepares them to work in the rail industry upon graduation. One more that I really like to point out is there is a plastics engineering program. It's polymer engineering and science at our Erie campus. And again, what's really special about that program is that there is a lot of industry in that part of the state for plastics engineering. And so, again, the campus has worked with the community to create this opportunity to place students out into industry within the local community. And so, what I would say is it's really, really important for you to explore all of these programs, as one of them might be right up your alley. One other thing that I like to share here is that there are a few other programs at Penn State that are not offered in the College of Engineering. They're offered in the College of Earth and Mineral Science. So those are things like energy engineering and environmental systems engineering, material science engineering, mining engineering, and petroleum and natural gas engineering. So again, there are programs that are offered through Penn State University Park, but in the College of Earth and Mineral Science. And again, might be something worth checking out if that's an area of interest for you. Okay, so I'm going to slide along here to the next slide. So this is actually the undergraduate advising website, or our website. And one thing that we like to show on our website, and I just have to drop this down here, is that on our website, we have this fantastic link, and it's called Parallel Planning. And so we want all students to be thinking about all of the different opportunities there are for them within the college and at the university. And so an example of that is if you look at aerospace engineering at University Park, right? There are other degree programs that would still allow someone to work as an aerospace engineer. And so you can see here biological engineering, electrical engineering. If you think about the way an airplane is built, it has electrical circuits, it has computer systems, etc. There are materials, right? Material science and engineering that go into building an airplane. And so what we want folks to consider and to think about is that you don't necessarily have to get a degree in aerospace engineering in order to work as an aerospace engineer. And so we want students to familiarize themselves with this parallel planning page so that they can be thinking about all of the options that might ultimately get them to their end goal of working in a specific field. And so that's why this link is so important and so wonderful for our students to utilize. So with that said, I would like to show you our undergraduate bulletin. This resource is fantastic for students so that they can learn all about their intended major and their intended degree program. This is a one-stop shop to learn about majors, minors, and courses at the university. Now, I have navigated directly to the Mechanical Engineering Bulletin website, and I'm just going to show you a couple of pieces that are really important. So the bottom part of this page gives a program description. It gives some information on what mechanical engineering is and why you might like it, right? And so I always tell students, if you're thinking about different majors or even minors, this is a great place to come to get a bit of a taste for each one of those majors or minors. Other pieces over here that are really important. Earlier, I talked about the fact that there are entrance to major requirements to declare one of the specific majors in the College of Engineering. Truly, this is simply because every department within the college wants to ensure that they have enough resources, faculty, lab space, research opportunities for every single student who's going to be in the major. And so we have administrative enrollment controls that help to control the amount of students who declare a major every single semester. Okay. One thing I want to be very clear about: if you meet the entrance to major requirements for a specific program, you are guaranteed admittance into that program. Guaranteed. Okay. So you can see here the entrance to major requirements for mechanical engineering. There is a required cumulative GPA. There are some classes that you have to take and get a C or better in. And then ultimately, there are graded Penn State credits, a certain number, right, that you have to have in order to declare. This can be really confusing, and I'm not going to go into any more detail about it, but you can take a look here and get an idea what this looks like for each one of the programs, okay? Because this may vary, specifically the cumulative GPA requirement for each one of our programs in the college. The last thing on here that I like to show is the suggested academic plan, okay? And this is a fantastic resource when folks want to look at the specific courses that are required for a certain degree plan. Now, I have to be clear in stating that this is a suggested plan. We know that some of you may be bringing AP and dual enrollment and transfer credits with you, and that some of you may have some more coursework that you're going to be have than others, right? And so this is simply suggested. It is not meant to serve as a specific guide. Okay, some of these courses can be moved around and taken at different times, but I like to show this because it lays out semester by semester a plan to get a 4-year degree in mechanical engineering at Penn State. And so this is a great tool and one I would encourage you to come in and look at if you want to get a little bit more information about what courses are required for each one of the programs. The last thing, and I just mentioned this very briefly in the previous slide, is just to talk for 1 minute about AP credits. So Penn State, yes, does accept some AP credits, some dual enrollment credits, some transfer credits, and there are ways for you to look at what those credits are. This particular page are the AP credits, and if you've taken the exams, what score you have to get on the exam in order to bring in those credits, and then how they will transfer in. So this is a great page to start with when you're wondering what AP credits we accept and what they'll count for. With that being said, I am all finished today. And so my part is over. I thank you for allowing me to talk with you today. I again wish you congratulations, and I'll be here to answer questions if needed.
Thanks, Maria. Yeah, please do. If you have questions for her or anything that was discussed there, in addition to the links that I provided in the chat, feel free to type those into our question and answer tab at the bottom. Next up is Sia. Sia is one of our industrial engineering students who is going to talk to you generally about the student experience and some of the things that you can be aware of and look out for in terms of getting involved and staying connected here at Penn State. So Sia, thanks so much for being here. Are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, hi everyone. Just give me 1 second to get my
Great.
screen shared. All right, I look good?
Looks great. Thank you.
All right, perfect. All right, so as Matt mentioned, my name's Sia. I'm a 3rd-year industrial engineering student here in the College of Engineering at Penn State. And I'm here just to give a brief overview of my experience in the College of Engineering, and which is sort of similar to what your experience will look like if you choose to come pursue engineering here at Penn State. All right. So there are 4 main things I'm going to cover today. I'm going to cover your housing, your first-year classes, clubs and activities that are offered here at Penn State, and lastly, some career opportunities. Now, this 4-step process, I think, is kind of similar to the process you might take if you are going to an airport to go on a family vacation on a plane. So the first thing I want to cover is housing, which is where you're going to be spending most of your time in the airport, where you're going to be housing up for the next few hours, or for, in our case, at least the next 4 years. So at Penn State, we have 5 different places that you can choose to live. And all these places have different pros and cons. And the most important thing to keep in mind is that no matter where you live, you will have a great experience, meet a lot of new people, and be able to live comfortably and have access to all the dining halls. So first, I'd like to talk about East, which is where most of our freshmen choose to live. It's on the northeast corner of campus, so it is a little bit far from your classes in the center of campus, but it is really close to all of our sporting arenas like Beaver Stadium, Pagola Ice Center, and one of our gyms on campus, the Intramural Building. And a lot of students choose to live here, A, because it's all renovated housing now, and it's also where all the freshmen choose to live. So it's a great experience. It's a great opportunity to meet a lot of new students, people that are in the same boat as you. And there's a lot of lounge spaces within these dorm halls to help facilitate some meeting and getting to really know people at the beginning of college. This is also a really great option. The next place that most freshmen choose to live is Pollock, and this is a little bit better location on campus. It's a little bit closer to the center of campus, as well as the downtown area. And we also have one of our live and learn communities here at Pollock. It's called FICE, which is first-year students in science and engineering. So this is really a great way for you to get to sort of meet people within the STEM area and sort of form study groups, people that have the same amount of course load as you, and can understand when you can and cannot hang out. And one thing that is important to keep in mind about Pollock is that it is traditional housing. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Remember, every housing has its benefit and pros and cons, and Pollock also has a really great dining hall, so that's something to keep in mind. Next, we have West, which also houses some living learning communities. A lot of engineering students choose to live here because it is the closest to all of your classes, and it also houses the E-House as well as the Weiss Live and Learn community. So E-House is for all engineering students. It's a really great way to meet people in your major, to form study groups, to do homework together. And the same thing with Weiss, which is the Women in Science and Engineering Live and Learn community. A lot of people choose to live here to be part of that community. It is also traditional housing, but it's right next to the library, so it gives you a lot of access to all the buildings that you'll be going to frequently. Then I want to cover North, which is more suite style housing. It's on the north end of campus, so a little bit above all your classes, but still close to everything. And usually here people have 4 roommates as opposed to 2, and there's also renovated housing. And then lastly, I want to cover South, which is right next to Pollock, so it kind of gives you that same location. It's just a little bit closer to downtown, if that's something that you prefer. And a lot of this housing is also untraditional, but this is unrenovated, sorry, it's traditional housing. But this is also where we house our Shrire's honor students usually. So something to keep in mind, but there's pros and cons no matter where you live, and you'll definitely be able to meet tons of people regardless of the quadrant that you're living in. Me personally, I lived in East my freshman year. I lived in East unrenovated in Stone Hall, and which is now a renovated building. But regardless of being renovated or not, we made it a really cozy space to live, and I loved living there. I got to meet a bunch of people, got my steps in every single day, and it was really nice to have the gym right next door, so I didn't really have to think about adding that commute into my schedule. So now that we've covered housing, we've arrived at the airport. We're going to talk about one of the most important things about your experience at the College of Engineering, which is your first year classes. Same thing like security, the reason everyone gets to the airport early to beat those lines. It's really important that we get this set straight. So a few things that we offer at Penn State before you get to go into those first year classes is orientation opportunities. So we have 3 main options for orientation here. We have the Engineering Orientation Network, the Women in Engineering program, and then the Multicultural Engineering program. So all 3 of these programs offer different things, but the Women and Multicultural Engineering program, they require you to come to campus 1 week early, and they put you in these groups, and you get to have a mentor as well as mentees that are surrounding you. And this is really helpful because you get to go on campus before it's populated. You get to learn where everything is. You get to meet people and form study groups. And it's really helpful just to, sort of ease those nerves of going into school for the first time. It's a really big campus and it can be definitely scary, but these opportunities definitely help a lot. And I highly encourage you guys to look into these as the time comes. And then lastly, we have the Engineering Orientation Network, which is a few-hour orientation on the Sunday before classes start. You get placed in groups around 20 with 2 mentors and fellow mentees. And we get to show you around campus. You get to meet some people. We'll do some icebreaker activities like different engineering challenges. When I was a freshman, I participated and we had to build a spaghetti tower. And then we competed with every other group of students to see who had the highest spaghetti tower. And you won some gift cards to the creamery. So very cool experience. And I also was a mentor my sophomore year. It was really nice to be able to have that full circle connection, definitely see the impact that you can make on students. So this is definitely a really helpful program and really takes a few hours of your day. Now to go into more of our classes, I know when everyone thinks of Penn State, they think of this huge school and you think the classes are probably going to look like this. And even though you might have 1 or 2 classes per semester that look like this, once you enter your sophomore year and you're more in your major specific classes, this is not what your classes look like at all. Your ratio is like 20-1. You have like your math classes, your engineering mechanics courses. These courses generally look this big when there's physics courses, chem courses, and even those courses have built-in sections where you get to sit with a bunch of different students in a smaller groups, usually around 20 to 30 students, and work directly with either teaching assistants or the head professor. And we call this recitation at Penn State. So it's basically an opportunity just to work through some practice problems, get your questions answered if you're too scared to ask in a big lecture hall. So we definitely make sure that you still get those opportunities to sort of be in like a smaller classroom like you are in high school. And lastly, one of the most important classes that we make all engineering students take, except computer engineering and computer science engineers at Penn State, is the Engineering Design 100 course. Now, this is one of my favorite courses I've taken at Penn State. And basically, this course is to sort of get you thinking about the engineering design process, think about your creativity, help learn SolidWorks, which is a 3D modeling software on your computer. And you definitely just get to meet a lot of people. So we do 5 projects in this class. 4 are group-based, and then 1 is an individual project that you do at the end. You get to build whatever you want in CAD, which is the SolidWorks software. And that was a super cool class for me. We got to build this stick figure, and we learned how to 3D print to put accessories on him. We got to learn how to use the bandsaw, the laser engraver in the bottom right corner. You can see that I chose to make a tennis LED light, so that was super cool. And then lastly, for my personal project, I attempted to make a plane in SolidWorks and CAD, and I'm super passionate about the aviation industry. So it was really cool for me to finally do something that I've always wanted to do with my engineering degree. And this class really helped me solidify that engineering is where I want to be, and it helps me fall back when I'm like, wow, this is kind of getting hard, this degree. I'm like, wow, well, e-design was a class I really enjoyed, so I know that I have what it takes to be an engineer. So now that we've covered those first year classes and we're through the hard part of security, we're at your gate. Let's think about some clubs and activities. Also, like, where do we want to get food when you're at an airport? Stuff like that. So Penn State offers so many clubs and activities. We have over 1,000 organizations, and there's something there for every single student. And if you can't find anything of your interest, please keep in mind that you can always start a club. So we have this big career fair at the beginning, a club fair at the beginning of every semester where all the clubs get together and you can walk through the lines and try to find clubs that you enjoy. Club sports are there, dance committees, thon committees, just anything that you might like, video games, anything that you might find interesting, help you meet some more people when you come to college. Something I want to specifically touch on is that we have a lot of engineering honor society and professional development societies for every single major in the College of Engineering. This screen just shows a few of the ones that we have, like AIAA, and even though I'm an industrial engineer, I'm still involved in this specific committee because I'm passionate about aviation engineering. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of different things that you can join to help kind of further your passion, whatever engineering discipline you're pursuing. So me personally, I'm part of the Engineering Ambassadors program here at Penn State. And this is a program that helps me connect with younger engineers across the state, where I get to meet with K through 12 students and spread my passion for engineering. And we're also a professional development organization. So I've learned a lot about public speaking, leadership skills. It's also the reason I get to speak with you guys today. And lastly, is a club that I'm doing just outside of academics. I'm on the club tennis team. So this has been a really fun opportunity for me. I've gotten to travel, meet a bunch of kids. And this is definitely like a nice stress reliever every single week when I get to go to practice and hang out with my friends. So now that we've covered the clubs and activities, time for the final part. We're finally on that plane and we're taking off to what we're all here at college for, which is getting our degree and pursuing a career. So at Penn State, we have the largest collegiate career fair in the country. We have so many companies that come out specifically recruiting Penn State students. We have a day that's just set for internships and co-ops for technical students. And then we have another day that's just for full-time for technical students. So these companies know what they're getting on those days. And these are just some companies to name a few that are on the screen. And going to this career fair is super important, super fun opportunity, get to network and meet people, even though you might not be qualified for specifically what they're looking for. It's always great experience to learn how to talk to recruiters, to give interviews, to have your resume tweaked, etc. Me personally, I had the opportunity this summer to work for Alaska Airlines in Seattle, and this opportunity was amazing for me, and Penn State helped me so much with giving all these resources on how to edit my resume and practice interviews and etc. that helped me land this position. So Penn State, a network is super important, and everyone knows the Penn State name. So this really helped me get this internship. And lastly, I just want to conclude with, we are a huge university. So no matter where you go across the country, across the world, you'll always run into Penn State students that will make you feel less alone. And you'll always have something in common with someone when you come to Penn State. So now that we've covered everything, I just want to recap everything that I talked about today. We talked about housing and how no matter where you live on campus, you'll definitely have a great place to live, and that most freshmen live in either East or Pollock. And we have your first year classes that definitely have that ability to be one-on-one with the professor and to have those small class sizes and also meet some people. And we have clubs and activities which everyone can join and help develop you professionally as also personally and meet some new people. And lastly, we have tons of career opportunities at Penn State. And this is what we're here for. So that's what Penn State here is here to prepare you for. College of Engineering does a great job producing amazing students for both industry, graduate, and research opportunities. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer in the chat.
Right on. Thank you very much, Thea. Appreciate you sharing a little bit about your experience and all the different ways that you can get engaged on campus. Next up, we have Lauren, who's here to talk to you a little bit about our Global Engineering Engagement Office and the ways in which that you can study abroad here at Penn State as part of your program. Lauren, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Matt. Let me get my screen pulled up and you guys can let me know when or if it's working.
It looks good.
Awesome. So as you probably guessed, I am going to be talking to you guys about studying abroad, specifically in the College of Engineering here at Penn State. This picture was taken atop a mountain in Lugano, Switzerland. It's overlooking Lake Lugano. When this picture was taken, me and all my peers were a little bit jet lagged. We were about to go have dinner with our new Swiss friends. They were all Swiss students at an engineering school we were studying with, and it was just absolutely magical. But before we get into the details of my trip and trips that you can take, we have to start with Penn State engineering engagement. So, little introduction. My name is Lauren Lieb. I'm a third year data science student, and I'm also a global engineering fellow. So, this means that I've taken a study abroad trip, and I get to share those experiences with you and other students. You can contact me with any questions or any of my peers with questions at this email here, but it will also be at the end of my slides. So this was a picture taken in a church atop a little mountain in Italy. As you probably guessed, I studied in Italy. It was a 3-week program, which we call a Maymester because it's in the month of May, which very conveniently fits in schedules. That's something that I was really concerned about, but this trip made it easy. It was only 3 weeks long during summer. We lived in Italy for those 3 weeks and then would travel up to Switzerland to study at a Swiss engineering school, which is absolutely amazing. To get to see like a different perspective, to get to see how others worked while still getting engineering credits. So people often ask, I mean, I'm an engineering student, I'm super busy, why should I do study abroad? The biggest thing that I tell people is the learning that happens outside the classroom, specifically with soft skills. As engineers, we're often in STEM classes, we're in labs, lots of math, that kind of thing. And you'll learn all those skills that you need to technically do a job and do, the engineering, to do the science, to do the math. But sometimes what's lost is those skills like networking, communication, group project work. These are all things that we can learn on study abroad. One big one, for example, is communicating across a language barrier. That was a really helpful one, especially because the people we were communicating with were also studying engineering. This picture is me and my peers. That was like the cohort that we were in that went with us. And as well, this goes for any student as to why they should study abroad, is that it's a chance to experience something new and different. You get to grow outside of your comfort zone. It's something where you can learn more than just what you'll learn in school, more than you could just learn at University Park in Pennsylvania or any of the other branch campuses. Some of our frequently asked questions, the big one is how long are programs? So as I mentioned, mine was only 3 weeks long, but you can go on ones that are a full semester long. We have ones that are for 1 or 2 months in the summer. We have ones that are for just even a week over break. So there's a big variation that'll fit into your schedule. As far as cost goes and finances, the Penn State College of Engineering offers a lot of scholarships and other available financial aid, which definitely helps. I encourage you to apply for any scholarships that you may be interested in when thinking about studying abroad. And another big one is what classes can I take? As you know, as engineers, class scheduling and classes can be really stressful and a little bit scary. There's all these technical classes you have to take, but these programs are designed for you in mind. So they're built in with things that you would have to take anyway. So I have friends that are architectural engineering. They study in Rome. They get those architectural engineering credits. You can also do ones that aren't related to your major, though, that are still going to fulfill credits. So, for example, in my class, I got a CAS 100 credit. So that's just a general speaking class. And I would have needed that anyway. So it was perfect, fit right into my schedule. So, moral of the story is there's something for everyone. If you want more information, feel free to talk to a global engineering fellow. That would be me or one of my peers that have also studied abroad. This website link, the globalengineering.psu.edu, will take us to our website if you want to learn more. And again, that email in the middle, you can contact us with any questions. Thank you so much. Please, and let me know if you all have any questions.
Right on, Lauren. Thank you so much. I always love seeing your pictures and how cool it would be to have been there. So I love that you get to share those stories. Thanks so much for being here today. Yeah, feel free to send any follow-up questions Lauren's way in the question and answer tab. Alexis, you're next up and Alexis is one of our amazing students who can talk to you a little bit more about the career resources and planning and support that they offer here. So Alexis, thanks again for joining us.
Of course. All right. Are you able to see my screen?
We do. The slideshow hasn't started yet. There you go.
Yes. All right. Awesome.
There.
So hi everyone. My name's Alexis Vida. I am a senior and I'm studying computer science here, and I'm here to talk more about career resources. So I'm a career envoy, and what career envoys do is we have office hours Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, that anyone is able to stop in to ask advice about finding internships, co-ops, full-time jobs. We review resumes, we have mock interviews. If you have any questions of what it's like to work with a specific company, you can look at our website to see all the career envoys and the companies they've worked at. And if there's a company you're interested in, you can stop in and ask that person what their experience was like. Our office is also in charge of all the recruiting events during the semester. So the fall career days at the BJC, as well as the major specific events. We also plan when all the companies will be on campus during the week for individual networking sessions. So anything career related, you can stop into our office and we'll be able to find an answer for you. So this is our website, career.engineering.psu.edu. And this is where we have all the resources. So on the students tab, you'll be able to scroll down and see the career envoys page to see the office hours of which envoys are working at which times. If you want to meet with someone that matches your major or someone that works for a specific company, you can see what time they'll be having their hours. We also have resume and cover letter tips. The career resources has a class held in the fall and spring semester that you're able to sign up, and company recruiters come in every week to talk to the class about opportunities at their company, as well as have mock interviews, resume reviews as well. The calendar of all the events is on our website that you'll be able to see. There's tons of different events every day, especially early on in the fall and spring semesters. So we recommend taking advantage of all those different opportunities, especially if you are interested in an internship after your freshman year. The best way to get an internship is by attending these different events, showing up and talking to recruiters, because they'll remember who shows up to all their different events, and look for your application in the portal. These are some of the events that will be early on in the next fall. So the fall career days at the BJC is the largest career fair. It has all the different majors attend this career fair. There's a lot of different companies, and it's pretty large, whereas the engineering networking reception is smaller. It's just engineering students and companies specifically looking for engineering students to fill their roles. So it's not as intimidating and a much better way to have one-on-one connections with the recruiters. There's also major specific career days as well, where the companies are looking just for those majors to fill their roles. And again, all of these different events can be found on our website. This is Nittany Lion Careers, and this is the best resource for finding available job postings. This is only available to Penn State students, and these companies are specifically looking for Penn State students to fill these roles. So you could apply for a role on, let's say, LinkedIn or through Glassdoor. But the difference between that and Nittany Lion Careers is with those different websites, you're competing against students across the country. Whereas through Nittany Lion Careers, there's thousands and thousands of postings that not many students are applying to. So your odds of getting an internship through the Nittany Lion Careers is much more likely than through a company's website. And you'll get access to Nittany Lion Careers once you get your Penn State account. This is what our schedule looks like. So once you've navigated to the Career Envoys page, you'll see a link to the schedule that you can see what career envoys are working what days to best fit into your schedule. And if there's an envoy that you really want to meet with, but their office hour time does not fit in your schedule, you are able to email them or send them a message to meet at a different time. So this is just highlighting some different starting salaries for the different majors. Engineering science, computer engineering, comp sci are some of the larger salaries. And this, we took the sample from graduating students. So a little bit about myself is I've had internships every year here that I've been at Penn State, starting with Lockheed Martin after my first year here. I was able to secure that internship within my first month, which is really cool to say. But I was able to get that because I attended the Lockheed Martin career recruiting day. I was talking to different recruiters and showing like genuine interest in the company. And from there, I moved on to Accenture, which is a technical consulting firm. I've been with them the past 2 summers. The first summer, I was working on AWS cloud migrations, which is really cool because that's not really part of the computer science curriculum here. So I was able to learn a lot that summer, and I enjoyed it so much that I returned again this past summer, where I was working on data pools for a major pharmaceutical company. Working on all the databases for that, creating documentations for FDA regulations. Again, a really great learning experience, 2 very different experiences, but I learned a lot both summers, and I will be attending or going back to Accenture full time once I graduate in the spring, and super excited to go back and learn more there. But that is all that I have for you guys today. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to shoot them in the chat.
Right on. Thank you very much, Alexis. Yeah, we have just a few more minutes left, and I'm going to share just 2 more pieces of information with you. But if you have any last-minute questions, we will try our best to answer them. Before I move off of this slide, though, please jot down. I've put in the chat my direct email. This engr@admissions.psu.edu address also goes to me directly. So either way, you can get to me, and I can ask questions that maybe didn't get answered of our panelists and get back to you. Or put you in touch with the information you're seeking if you do have any follow-up questions. But there were quite a few questions in the chat about scholarships. The College of Engineering does have a separate scholarship application for incoming students that is open now, and we encourage everyone to apply. We encourage folks to apply and also apply for their FAFSA so that the university can identify a score because we are award based on both merit and need. And so we encourage everyone to fill out a FAFSA if you're eligible, but you still can apply to the scholarship application if you do not complete the FAFSA. And we have 2 deadlines. Our first deadline is January 8th. And so we will award as soon as possible after the 8th, our first round of scholarships. And then again at the application process will close on May 1st. And so we will award again at the end of our cycle for anyone that didn't receive an award in the first round or who did not apply before that initial deadline. So please take down that link there, the bit.ly. If you'd like to get to our scholarship application, I also added that in the chat earlier. And then second, Sia mentioned a little bit about our living learning communities. There are 2 ways to get placed in one of our living learning communities. You can fill out the housing application that everyone is required to and preference one of them. But you can also let us know in the college that you're interested in living in one of the living learning communities, and then we can preference your placement. And so we encourage everyone who is interested to do both, to let us know and to put on your housing application your interest in an LLC and apply to our application. The bit.ly is here on this page by May 15th. And you can see here again the locations of our 3 living learning communities, eHouse, Weiss, and FICE. And so with that, I want to make sure that you have a minute to log off and get a quick break before your next session, led by our admission staff that will cover lots of general information regarding the university, student aid, housing, and much, much more. So please do hop over to the link that I dropped in the chat earlier. I have just 2 questions that I see here live that I'm going to do my best to answer quickly before we end our webinar. The recording of this session will be sent to you, I believe on Tuesday is when it's set to go out next week. So you'll get an email as a registrant for this session with this recording so that you can look back at any information that you missed. And then are there dates for on-campus visits this spring? Yes, we will be publishing shortly. The plan is admissions is going to talk more about that in the session next, but they should have those sessions out live soon before the end of the month, where you can come to campus and visit us as well. So with that, I'm going to end our session. Thank you again to our panelists and presenters. We appreciate you being here, and we wish you all the very best. Again, congratulations on your acceptance to Penn State. Take care.